you doing?
Let's have some vibe.
You know, when it comes to the year of 2026, we are left with quite a few surprises. Some movies, when you are presented with a trailer, you just know they are going to bomb right away. Then we are given the oftentimes when we are presented with a movie that absolutely surprised us and most of the people enjoyed and really loved it. But when it comes to a movie by Christopher Nolan that has a dislike ratio longer than my list of therapists, that absolutely was not on my bingo card for 2026. So how was it? How was this divisive movie? What did it do? Did it do Homer's Odyssey justice? Is the dislike ratio needed? Well, yes and no.
We all know a version of the Helen story. I read different versions. This film asks us to consider more than just her face.
Oh. So come along with Mr. Sinister to see if we can get Matt Damon home again for the 15th time. But if you want to come along with me to that like, share, and subscribe button, if you enjoyed this video, I would greatly appreciate it.
I'd appreciate it. I really would.
So our movie's gonna pick off when you have Matt Damon, who spent years away fighting after the Trojan War, who's on his way back home to Ithaca. I mean, let's face it, Odyssey has been away for a long time, and we know what he's got waiting at home for him. Don't look at me like that, you know you all would. All the while, these suitors have decided to invade his home with his wife and his son. All while they are trying to deal with that as Matt Damon decides to get home. But while he's on his way home, a journey turns into a psychological warfare between him, gods, and monsters. Alas, but will Matt Damon be able to return home, and will his home still be the same thing he is? Ultimately, will he be the same person if and when he gets there? Look, I'm not going to pretend like I know everything about Homer's work, because quite frankly, I know about maybe one page, and on that page I know about the page number, so that's going to be about it, alright? Now, there's going to be a few things that stood out to this movie. Number one, did I expect there to be horror elements in this movie? No, I didn't. And for this ultimately being a Christopher Nolan movie, to see him take a little crack at horror here and there with one particular sequence, yeah, I was pretty surprised. Was it anything I was overly excited about at the end? No. Now, if you have a thing for dogs and you are a dog lover, you will be aware that you will see a scene in this movie that you will probably not like. Before we get to one of the biggest issues in this movie and some of the largest controversies, which is going to be the casting. Let's talk about some of the characters. It's pretty interesting when you see Anne Hathaway and Elliot Page in a movie again since their last Christopher Nolan movie. And yes, we can address the 5'1" elephant in the room. We all know that they transitioned. I honestly don't care. You're an adult. You can do whatever you want with your body. But if you expect me to believe that a 5'1" person that weighs 100 pounds soaking wet is going to be representing anything that has any part of Greek mythology at all. No, he is not going to be playing Achilles like a lot of people thought he was. He's actually playing a character called Sinon, a Greek warrior. And, well, here's the thing. If you don't want him in the movie at all, don't worry about that for very long. Yeah, and you want to know what else is not in the movie very long?
Didn't do nothing. Shoplifting ain't against the law. I asked to buy Kool-Aid with food stamps and y'all said you don't do that no more, but I gotta get my nails done.
Look, I generally don't have a problem with Lupita Nyong'o. I'm sure she's a very nice person, but when you're supposed to be the face that launched 1,000 ships, not launched 1,000 crypts, people are going to complain, and this is just not working. You know, I find it pretty interesting when there was that much representation that was thrown down everyone's face, beaten with you over and over and over again, and you maybe have an on-screen time with them both combined of a mere few minutes. I'm not sure what Christopher was thinking here, but it was a big mistake. When you have to look at the aspects of the dialogue that is supposed to be betrayed 4 Grease times, then you have somebody like Travis Scott in the movie, you're going to piss everyone off. And yes, there is going to be his music in this movie, and honestly, it was some of the dumbest shit I have ever heard. And yes, I know I have been very critical of this movie, and I wanted to enjoy this movie much more, but there are some positives for me. Christopher Nolan does know how to shoot a movie, and this movie does feel like it was shot very well. And honestly, one of the best standout characters in the Odyssey is going to be Pattinson. Pattinson plays Aeneas, and this guy is an absolute asshole. He makes it very well known the moment he steps on screen, and I gotta give credit. This guy's established himself as a very good actor. But you know who is not a very good actor in this?
Is so vital to what happens.
The women run this.
Yeah, when you think.
Oh, come on!
No, Wakandan lady, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but especially back in ancient times in Greece, that is absolutely not how it fucking worked. And if you think that is going to change the minds of anybody during this time or at all, you are very mistaken.
Yes, yes.
And one of the good things that did decide to come out of the Odyssey is that the internet has remained undefeated, even with great haircuts with a fade, the memes, and honestly, we could have seen some of the best casting that we could have gotten for this movie. I think, honestly, Christopher, this is going to be one of your hardest issues and one of your biggest pills that you're going to have to swallow. Everything that you did with the cast, some of the pacing issues, and the fact that you thought this was going to be called an Odyssey from Homer was a mistake as well. This is absolutely what happens when you say that you want to bring in somebody like Travis Scott to give him a poetry motion to an analogous to rap. It's going to alienate your audience, and we will not come. Speaking of not,
What's been your odyssey in terms of fighting for your identity or your Hollywood career?
Well, it's always been a battle. I mean, Hollywood is not the most accepting place. Even though we Latin people are 30 to 40% of the box office and a third of streamers, we're still not represented. We're the most underrepresented, aggressively underrepresented group in America.
yeah, John Leguizamo's in the movie too, and pretty much no one cares. This is going to be one of the things that I did reference earlier. When you look at the dislike ratio that we are seeing from this movie, and on top of it being a Christopher Nolan movie, is it justified? Is it worth it? Yes and no. Yes, for the simple fact that we are tired of the race and gender swaps and being attacked by the writers, directors, producers, and cast members of various movies. The only way I can say that honestly this would have been a no from this movie is me wanting, and a lot of other people, to give it the benefit of the doubt, because if you are able to separate the art from the artist, then you are probably one of the few people or more that is honestly going to like this movie. There could be a million different speculations as to why Christopher Nolan, the god of directors in Hollywood right now, that could have done the casting the way he did, why he did the dialogue and pacing the way he did. Honestly, no one knows. Did he do all this because he wanted to put another Oscar on his mantle? Maybe. Is this going to ruin his career? No. And also, as I said before, is this movie going to flop? No. But is going to very much underperform. That's unfortunate because Christopher Nolan has a ton of talent. I love his work. Interstellar and Inception are great movies, but if you want to do a movie like this, Christopher, you shouldn't have even called it the Odyssey. You should have made it something different. Christopher Nolan's Odyssey is an absolute sin. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you didn't enjoy this video, I thank you all so much for watching. And, as always, until we meet again.